What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants. No hate. So, you guys saw the thumbnail. You saw the rhetorical question. So many people are milking this story to twist and turn and give these weird opinions on why they think Deontay Wilder won. And they're basically, putting out the same type of message. So when people are putting up videos saying Deontay Wilder exposed, Deontay Wilder's been fighting over a decade. There's nothing in that ring that can happen to Wilder right now that will expose anything. Wilder is who he is. All right? There's no questions about what he has and what he doesn't have. When you hear that, see that question or hear it, what went wrong for Wilder? What happened to Wilder? The reason Deontay Wilder lost. The real reason Deontay Wilder lost. The true reason Deontay Wilder lost. The fact that they even labeling these videos this way, before you even listen to it, if you decide to listen to it, you already know ahead of time they're going to tell you everything except for what the true reason is. Now, did Deontay Wilder stand in one corner and fight an invisible man? Or did he have a formidable opponent standing across the ring from him? So, it's everything other than, plain and simple, Zhang is the better man. You're not going to tell me a 38-year-old man is old, but a 41-year-old man isn't. Tyson Fury loses to Usyk. Well, he's not the same fighter. His age has caught up with him. Wait a minute. So he's old at 35, but Usyk at 37 isn't old. Okay. So it's always anything other than the facts. I don't know if you guys saw the video, but when Deontay Wilder arrived in Saudi, Turkey came into his room, or whatever the room they were in. They met up. They were talking. Wilder was standing there, had a black suit on. Turkey's telling him that I know you're going to get the job done. I know you can do it. I can see it in your eyes. I know you're going to do it. I can see it in your eyes. And he also told Wilder, in my position, like, I can't play favoritism, but you know what is in my heart. Okay? It's no different from him telling Anthony Joshua, hey, listen, I need you to knock Ngannou out and get rid of him because I can't have this guy beating my top fighters. Okay? Now, you remember how that fight came about. Eddie Hearn was the one that talked, and he said Turkey asked him, since Wilder lost the fight to Parker, who could we put in there against AJ that's gonna have that type of draw like him and Wilder would have at that time, right? Or at least what they believed. Not Joseph Parker, who just beat Wilder. It had to be something that get people going. I told you, I don't think they look at Joseph Parker for what, as that big star. Is that, he's that, and it's unfair. Okay, but Eddie Hearn said, right off the bat, he said Francis Ngannou. This wasn't AJ's idea, but AJ went in there, the underdog, against a novice fighter. This is how much respect boxing has lost. This is how much respect. You got people thinking that the Misfits is as good as Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. You have people thinking that this guy Ngannou was going to go in there and beat a seasoned fighter like Anthony Joshua. Why? Well, look at what happened with him and Fury. You can't always go by that. Now, you can feel a certain way about something, and we all do. So, I'm not going to knock a person for having their own judgment. The problem is most of these people's judgment don't come off of their own thinking. It's based on what someone else said. Let me give you an example of something. When Adrian Broner fought Paulie Malignaggi, I didn't really like the way Adrian fought that fight. Now, he won the fight convincingly, clearly. Paulie barely landed anything. Okay? But if you're stepping up in weight, you want to make a statement, I'm stepping up in a bigger weight class. I'm beating up the bigger boys. If ever you had a chance to go at a guy and not just win the fight, but like really make a statement, like really tear this guy's ass apart, it was Paulie Malignaggi. Because Paulie has brittle hands, very little punching power. You fought him overly cautious. So if you're going to fight Paulie Malignaggi like that, what's going to happen when you start fighting the guys that can really bang? His very next fight was against who? Marcos Maidana, who can bang and who brings pressure all day, all night. And I said, I don't like this fight I don't like the way Adrian fought Paulie. I think he's going to have a lot of trouble with Marcos Maidana, man. Nah, man, Marcos Maidana lost to Devin Alexander. And Devin Alexander can box. You know, he's a good fighter. Devin is just a front runner. Because Devin will hold his own early in the fight, and then it's just inevitable that he's going to make a very, very grave mistake and let the fight slip away from him. That was Devin. But Devin did actually have skills, you know what I mean? So, basically, before that loss, Adrian Broner was looked at as better than Kell Brook. People looked at him like he was better than Sean Porter, or Keith Thurman, or any of those guys. Danny Garcia, until he lost to Marcos. Okay, the rematch never happened. People thought because Adrian Broner tries to mimic Floyd, that Marcos Maidana was actually going to beat Floyd, because look at what he did to Adrian. So you see the comparisons that people make, right? It's more of a personal thing. And I tell people, you have to separate your personal feelings away. Anybody can be wrong about a prediction the way you see something fight going. Because like I tell you, you never know what a fighter's going to do come fight night. But when you look at that particular scenario, you obviously don't look at the differences between Floyd and Adrian. And it was on purpose. Why? Because people they hate Floyd so much that they're too stupid to pay attention, to understand that, no, this dude is ultra skilled. Adrian Broner was good, not great. He was good. Okay, and you see how Floyd nullified that shit. And yeah, you let the bull keep coming in. I'm gonna play the matador. I'm just gonna be right here. I'm not going nowhere. And I'm gonna counter and make him miss, make him pay. I'm going to use his own momentum against him. When you throw 900-something punches and land 100-something out of that 900, yeah, bro, you missed more than half of your shots. You understand what I'm saying to you? And then you get outpointed, and you get outpointed with power shots and everything. Okay, body shots, everything. Then, yeah, that's what you call a masterclass of boxing. Okay, Adrian Broner has never showed you any mastery at boxing. He showed you flash, flare, good hand speed, power, and he talks a lot of shit. And you know, but in terms of his overall skill set, nah. I never saw Broner like, no, he's the next Floyd. I don't even believe in calling somebody the next such and such. But you know, I didn't see him like that. I saw him as a good fighter that mimicked Floyd, and he had his flaws, though, and his things that I saw that he couldn't do. Now, we watched Roy Jones. Crazy speed. Really, really good power, both hands. You understand what I mean? Sharp ring IQ. Roy Jones was fearless in there, and he came to fight. Now, we watched Roy Jones nullify your shit. We watched Roy Jones completely overwhelm you, refuse to let you into the fight. We watched him back himself into a corner, right? Invite you in. Yeah. We watched him go for that. From that to going into a corner, land on the ropes with his hands up, wouldn't throw a punch. And when he did, it was, get off me. Stop. Leave me alone. Stop. Get off. Wasn't the same Roy. And we all could see that. Wasn't the same Roy. Now, that being said, right? Roy Jones showed us immense skills. Sugar Ray Leonard showed us immense skills. You know, Evander Holyfield showed us immense skills. Muhammad Ali, we can go down the line. Those fighters were all great fighters. And those fighters all were constantly in the gym. Now, Ali was a bit of a show-off earlier in his career to where his times where, you know, I remember a guy he was fighting, and the guy was interviewing him and was saying, you don't seem to be really worried about this guy. He's like, you're right, I'm not really worried about this big bomb, and, you know, like not training the way he was supposed to. Okay. But Ali could fight. Ali wasn't one-dimensional. Ali wasn't a one-trick pony. So what all of those guys have in common is they basically was masters of their craft. You hear people say, yo, Floyd trains like he's broke. Like this dude go running 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, like everything. Like Floyd still to this day does this shit, right? Okay. You heard people talk about how Sugar Ray Leonard was the hardest worker in the gym. Mike Tyson was the hardest worker in the gym. Holyfield, you always heard that. You have never, in your entire life of watching Deontay Wilder box, heard anybody say, yo, one thing about Deontay, man, he's the first in the gym, the last to leave. He's the hardest worker in the gym. Nope. You heard Deontay Wilder out of his own mouth say, when you knock guys out, it's easy. You know, all the other, there's no need to do all the other stuff. You heard Deontay Wilder say, what applies to other fighters don't apply to me. You heard Mark Breland say, he doesn't listen to me. You heard Deontay Wilder, even before the fight with Zhang, on a short clip say, you know, we out here, man, about to run, you know what I'm saying? You know I hate to run, but hey, once I get into it, it's on it. Okay. So the thing about it is, you don't say, a great fighter doesn't go, you know what, fuck that, I'm not going to run. You know what, I'm not hitting the speed bag. You know what, I'm not going to skip rope. You know, nope. Even when you see Anthony Joshua train, you see him doing all these different training methods and all, you don't see Wilder doing all of that. You just don't see Wilder doing those things. Now, the point that I'm getting at, which I'm sure y'all get it by now, but the point that I'm getting at is greatness is determined not by the fans, not determined by your trainer, not determined by your manager. It's determined by you. Because you have to push yourself. Now, your team comes together as a collective. They're your support system, but you have to want to do these things. Okay? You have to want to do these things. So if you're only doing it because they're pushing you, that can also become a problem as well. Example, like I gave this example before to you guys. It's like simply like someone saying, hey man, you know what? Let's go horseback riding. And you go, we could. Your response is letting them know you don't really want to. I mean, I'm not against it, but I'm not really for it. I mean, I'm good whether we do it or not. Right? Right? No big deal. That right there is a difference. And it's a difference maker. Let me show you something. You see how there's times, many times, when Anthony Joshua's name came up, and that's the way Wilder responded to his name. Like it's no big deal. I don't really need this fight. I don't really see AJ the way y'all do, right? Okay. You didn't hear AJ talking like that about Wilder. Fury was talking that way about AJ. And he didn't want to fight Anthony Joshua. He made up in his mind before the Usyk fight. He sat right there across from Usyk and said, he's not fighting AJ. So what, are you already saying that you beat Usyk already? Let me show you the difference in determination. When Fury started to figure Usyk out, and Fury's timing was better, he was able to control the distance a little better and get his jabs off first. Usyk never stopped coming. Do you understand what I'm saying? So Usyk didn't get frustrated and get desperate. Usyk he kept coming, kept that pressure coming, kept a little more crafty, a little more cerebral. Yeah. And he hurt Fury. Now, Tony Bellew, when he fought against Usyk, he was outboxing Usyk, and he was definitely winning that fight. For sure. He was winning that fight. Here's the thing, though. People was bringing that up as if it's a strike against Usyk. Bellew was a good fighter. Simple. He was a good fighter. Now, the problem, all right, the problem that people, what they overlook details of a fight. Because even though Bellew was winning that fight, Bellew started getting tired. You don't think Usyk could sense that? Yeah, he's getting tired now. So what's going to happen? I'm going to break him down, and I'm going to take him into deep waters and get rid of him. And that's exactly what he did. You understand? So you might not rate Tony Bellew as a good fighter, but he was a good fighter. Tony Bellew was a good fighter. Tony Bellew held his own. Usyk saw that pressure was wearing him down. The shots had less and less on him, and Usyk got him out of there, and that's all that matters, is that Usyk won the fight. That's all a part of strategizing. Now, if you look at that, and then you think about the fact that all of these fighters I'm naming has shown you that they have real boxing skills. They're not one-dimensional. They know how to adjust and how to adapt. Okay. Can you honestly say that at any point we've seen anything from Deontay Wilder other than the right hand? No. So for that to be the case, right? When we watch Roy Jones and Ali and Ray Leonard and all these guys not be the same anymore, do you understand? It's because, now don't get me wrong. Ray Leonard's last fight with Terry Norris before he retired, Ray was still good. Ray was just coming off a win. Ray was holding the title. Ray called out Terry because he thought he could beat Terry. Okay? People, if Ray was younger, okay, no, we're not going to play that game if Ray was younger. Ray was 34 years old. Okay? So he called out Terry Norris, who I think was 26 at the time. 24, whatever, he's 20-something, mid-20s. But bottom line is, that was his decision. And then you got to also remember, he came back, 6 years later and fought Hector Camacho. Okay, Ray was done. People make it seem like I like Ray Leonard as a fighter just as much as I like any other fighter. But people try to make it sound like Ray Leonard, the Ray Leonard that fought Camacho, was the Ray Leonard that fought Terry Norris. So I don't care if you think, if Ray was younger, he would have won. I don't care about all that. He wasn't younger. He's the one that wanted Terry. Terry didn't call him out. Terry didn't even want to fight Ray because that was his idol. Okay, but bottom line is, when you see a fighter who was once really skillful fall apart and they're no longer the same, it's noticeable. Wilder has never shown you nothing but him being a one-trick pony. Wilder has always shown patience. He's shown patience to wait. Not always, because he gets sloppy and careless in fights too, but I mean, he does have the patience to wait. He'll lose round after round just to land that one shot. But Wilder, in having this patience, Wilder, when you look at what he does, Wilder has the patience, good right hand, and he had some quickness, that little quick half step that he does, and he's shown heart. That was Wilder's biggest attributes. Wilder has never shown you a wide variety of skills. So with that being said, right, I've talked about this several times already. Wilder's situation, what happened to Wilder, what went wrong for Wilder, we can bring up Malik Scott. We can talk about Mark Breland. We can talk about him and his wife, him and his brother. We can talk about any little intangibles. The reality is Wilder has not faced top-level competition until Fury. And then at this stage of his career where he's not going to get better, okay? He doesn't have that bag of tricks. He doesn't have plan B, plan C, plan D. Wilder is strictly plan A. So now, when he doesn't have another gear to go into, yeah, people are saying he don't look the same. Right. I'm willing to bet you if you put Wilder in there with another C-class fighter, he's going to look like the same exact Wilder. Just like I keep telling you guys, Joseph Parker isn't any better than he was when we felt like he was starting to decline. He's just better than Wilder. Right? And now, I didn't say Parker was trash. I'm saying Parker, who beat Zhang basically because Zhang got tired and gassed out. Basically, because Zhang was basically tearing Parker's ass up. This is the same Joseph Parker that fought against Joe Joyce. My point, he's no better now than he was when he fought Joe Joyce. But that doesn't mean Parker's not a good fighter. But you could see he's not the same fighter. What's the difference, though? Joseph Parker was actually a good fighter. Deontay Wilder was good enough on a C and D level scale to beat those guys that he fought. That's what he's good enough to do. He can't beat an A, a B minus, a B plus. He can't. So we're not even going to talk about an A. He just can't. Okay? Puncher's chance, yes. But other than a puncher's chance, no. Wilder doesn't know how to set traps. Wilder doesn't know how to create openings. Wilder doesn't know how to control range and distance. He doesn't know how to push the pace of a fight. He doesn't know how to, simple things. Wilder simply waits and just wait for you to make a mistake. Now, for all of the people that keep trying to tell you what really went wrong, the truth of why he lost, and okay, now my point ain't even bringing up Turkey, giving him that little pep talk in the beginning. That was to reference, one, he wanted Wilder to win. And when Wilder lost to Parker, him saying he don't want to bring Wilder back right away because he don't like what he saw. Why? I don't want him to lose. I want Wilder to come back strong and ready. Like, okay. Remember the payoff? Oh, yeah, because we got that story too. Several stories. Wilder was paid off by Eddie Hearn and the Saudis to take a dive against Zhang. So these ridiculous stories that are coming out is like, really? Okay. I'm not shocked. I told you guys, the drama's not going to stop. I don't know if we're going to get a glove gate type of situation again, but should he lose, we're going to get a whole bunch of excuses. Tell me when I'm lying. Tell me when I'm wrong about the shit. This is exactly what I'm talking about. What you see and hear is everything other than Zhang was just the better man and he won. Parker was just the better man and he won. Fury was just the better man and he won. No, we're not going to hear that. So basically, Wilder beat himself. It wasn't because of Zhang. Wilder punched himself in the face and knocked himself out. It wasn't because of Parker. It wasn't because of Fury. It was everything and anything other than, because people have programmed themselves to believe that Wilder is just that guy. He wasn't letting his hands go. Wilder fought in typical Wilder fashion. He just wasn't as active. Also, you think Wilder don't realize, you think when he watched Zhang fight, he don't know that dude can punch? And what does Zayn do? Zayn comes in and starts walking Wilder down. He's not coming in there backing up from Wilder. Now, when I'm telling you strategically, like, imagine when Roy Jones went up to fight against John Ruiz. Roy Jones is going to go in there and try to walk Ruiz down. Yet, he's the much smaller guy. That's not what he does. Now, if he wasn't doing that shit at middleweight and light heavyweight, how smart. Now, he had to. Now, Roy fought the fight the way he had to because he was there. He wasn't running from him. But what I'm saying is, if he's in there trying to bulldog him, that's more like not going to work for Roy. That style against that type of opponent, just too big, too strong for you to come in there and risk trying to do that, and you're going to punch yourself out. So Roy know, okay, I'm faster than him. I got a shorter reach. I'm a lot smaller, but I'm a lot quicker. I'm smarter, and I'm sharper. And I know I can get the shots there. Roy took some shots from Ruiz in that fight, too. He didn't go anywhere. You understand what I mean? So why would anybody think he's going to get knocked out by a light heavyweight? Lost too much weight. There's things that happens. It's not an excuse. You could see that fight wasn't the first one, but the second fight. That was the end of Roy Jones. Because when Tarver knocked him out in that second fight, yeah, he got beat back up to his feet, but he was out on his feet. Don't need to talk about what might have happened. Bottom line is, Roy was never the same after that fight. That was the end of Roy. His confidence was gone. You understand what I'm saying? He wasn't letting his hands go. You never seen Roy Jones lay back and scared to throw punches, tentative, work. Nope. He was strategic. When Wilder's not letting his hands go, he's trying to be strategic and wait for that moment. But you already know what Wilder's going to do. Wilder's attack is the same. Wilder fights everyone the same. So that being said, right, you got to just say Tarver was the better man. And remember, it wasn't the first fight that Roy lost. First fight, he was sucking for win by the third round. Because dropping them 25 pounds of muscle, coming back down, that'll do it to you. Okay? But it was the second fight. Shit happens, man. Shit happens. And remember, John Ruiz beat Evander Holyfield. Now, was Holyfield the same? No. But the point is, these guys that showed heart, that went in the ring, even when they were no longer the same, they showed the heart, they went in the ring, and they fought. Then they had fights where it's like, okay, this opponent is too much for me right now. I can't even figure, right? Things go wrong. Fighters, I can handle this style, but I can't handle that style at this stage in my career. Those type of things. Okay. We're talking about, look at Bernard Hopkins. Bernard Hopkins couldn't handle a good jab, speed, and movement. But if you were flat-footed enough where he can catch up to you, Bernard Hopkins, even up in his mid-40s, man, dude was in there fighting against the top guys, mid and late 40s. Okay? And was winning. It's just certain styles he couldn't handle at that point. Okay? Larry Holmes is another one. Certain styles but overall, dude came back and was still fighting into his mid-40s, man. So it's what I'm saying to you. When you look at fighters and you say these guys were great, you can look back and watch great fights where, man, the action was back and forth. Wilder doesn't have that. The only thing you'd be looking for is just the knockout. The fight themselves, wasn't good fights, though. So when you now are stepping out of the minor leagues into the major leagues with the same minor league strategies and skill set, you're going to fall short when you come to the majors. Are you with me? Okay? That's all that went wrong for Wilder. Now, if Wilder, and let's listen to this, okay? If Wilder isn't the same fighter and he's washed up, what sense does it make for him to continue to fight? Please make that make sense. So if he's washed up, you as his so-called fans, y'all always King Wilder, Wilder the God, this, Wilder, whatever. Why would you want to see him go in there and risk getting brain damage? Why would you want to see him go in there and risk getting beaten even worse? And trust me, after that fight with Zhang, anybody watching Wilder that's a top level guy is going to clearly see Wilder only looks for that one punch, but he has no answers for anything, and all you got to do is back him up. Wilder is that limited. The problem is his limited skills got him to where he was because of the level of competition that he's been fighting. And then most of you guys overlook that's the facts of what's going on. So you think that he can beat this guy and that guy because you want him to be able to win. But you all was told that the right hand, nobody could take it. So what you think went through Wilder's mind in that fourth round when he caught Zhang? I think he caught him in the first two, but I know in the fourth, yeah, he tried to open up. And what you think happens when he's catching Zhang he caught him with a couple of right hands. Flush. Zhang went nowhere. Now, when I said to you, when you fight guys that's determined, when you fight the top level guys, it's different. So when you hit a guy, and it's like, man, usually when I hit a guy, that shit, they go there. Why is he still standing? That plays on your mind too. And you got to understand, because Wilder doesn't have a plan B. He doesn't have another gear to go into. Yeah, that's some scary shit to him. You understand what I'm saying? Because now it's like, well, damn, what do I do now? When Turkey told him, I know you're going to get the job done, I can see it in your eyes. What is it that he saw? Or what did he think he saw? So we know he wanted AJ to beat Ngannou. He probably wants AJ to beat everybody. We know he wanted Wilder to beat Zhang. We know that they want that fight. So for the people that have half a brain, Eddie Hearn is going to recruit Deontay Wilder to Matchroom. Not only that, make him team captain because he wanted to pay him off to take a dive. So him and Turkey is in this together. I mean, these stories are ridiculous. So this video is to just basically bring awareness to, hey, wake up. Remember, pay attention to what makes sense. Don't listen to this garbage and fall for it. These people make these videos, they make all these excuses, they make all of these conspiracy theories, and you know, the reality of where Wilder stands as a fighter, his skill set, it's always been what it was. It's always been what it was. And that's why I said, go back and look at Wilder's whole career. Wilder was never no dude that just came in there and like he never was a Mike Tyson, Joe Frazier type of fighter. He was never that. He was always laid back, wait, stay behind, keep his arms out, wait. And all he's looking for is to land that right hand. That's his whole thing. When he's working off his jab, is not to throw follow that shit up with a right hook, fake you throw a left hook on top of, over your jab or whatever. Nothing. Rip you with a couple of body shots. Everything is just, it was the same repetitive shit. You know how he always does this shit where he kind of like, I don't know, like he's trying to like adjust his glove, or he always does this shit and he walks and he's in punching range and he puts his hands on top. You see that shit he does? Amateur shit. When he's in punching range, he does that shit, right? And I'm looking at Wilder and it's like, you might take it as an intense look, but Wilder looks frustrated. When he's trying to find the right hand. When he finally, boom, and he gets it and you go down, okay, he celebrates. But Wilder is not the type of guy that goes in there and just take it to you. When he lands something hard and he think he got you, that's when Wilder starts to open up on you. But other than that, and even when Wilder attacks, he throws those windmill punches. He fought somebody, I can't remember who it was. Wilder was throwing punches so hard, it's so sloppy. Man, he was missing. He hit the ropes. He was losing his balance, and that might look intimidating to somebody that can't fight. But even in watching that, yeah, you won, you stopped the guy and all that. But I mean, once again, and that's why we call him Windmill Wilder. All these wild, sloppy, just slinging punches out of nowhere, and nothing, no rhyme or reason. Just something's going to land. You hear trainers tell their fighters that. Just throw something, man. Something going to get through. That's because you don't have an actual backup plan for the one that's failing you, that you've been trying to get your fighter to do. And y'all banked on that, and you thought all you got to do is this and this and that. If your mindset is either this or it's either that, there's no middle ground, there's nothing else, then you're not really that good of a trainer. And you're not that good of a fighter. And you're not that wise of a person if you think that that's all there is. Okay? That's like saying, let's bake a cake. Okay, what kind of cake? What do you mean what kind of cake? There's only one kind of cake. No, what world do you live in? Do you want to make a strawberry shortcake? You want to make a banana cake? Yeah? You want to make a lemon meringue? What? There's many different types of cakes. You understand what I'm saying to you? Okay, it's not just one. But that's how people, it's like it's either vanilla or chocolate. No, there's many other flavors. Many, many, many other flavors. You might not be aware of them, or you might not care for them, but they're there. And as a fighter, when you limit yourself to tell yourself what applies to other fighters don't apply to me. What if drivers implement that in their driving? What applies to other drivers don't apply to me. So I don't have to stop at stop signs or red lights. I don't have to signal before I turn. Huh? Even though I see kids get on their school bus, why do I got to stop for them? I'm late for work. Just saying. Just saying. You're a marathon runner. Hey man, every 2 miles they stop for water. What apply to other runners don't apply to me. Then you go out there and get dehydrated and pass out. No. Why would you limit yourself? That's one of the key factors of the whole equation that people overlook. Him telling himself that what applies to other fighters don't apply to me. And let's understand something. He said that when he was with Mark Breland. He also said that when he was with Malik Scott. So maybe even that little celebration at the end, maybe Malik Scott, listen, I'm not saying this shit is right, but I'm saying there could be things going on behind the scenes between him and Malik that we just don't know about. I don't care to know about it. But maybe Malik Scott was tired of him. He's like, man, this stupid motherfucker. I'm telling him to do this and he's not letting. Who knows? That's why I brought up the analogy about the comparison about Teddy Atlas telling Michael Moorer, look, man, I need you to do this and this. And he said, if you don't listen to what I'm telling you, when you come back in this corner, I'm not going to be here. Teddy wasn't lying. Michael went out there, did whatever, and lost that round too. Came back to no instructions. Teddy Atlas just sitting in the crowd just looking. He had his water and his cut man over there and stuff. They're in the corner, but no instructions. He went out the very next round and did everything Teddy Atlas was telling him to do. Okay? But bottom line, maybe Malik Scott is frustrated with Wilder as well. Maybe he's going, man, this motherfucker, man. Because even what Malik Scott was telling him to do, Wilder wasn't doing. So even when you saying, what about the jab? Okay, wait. You mean to tell me Wilder's the fucking fighter and Wilder doesn't realize he needs to throw his jab? Wilder doesn't realize that? Wilder needed, okay, and any fighter, you train for different opponents, but you don't forget the basics. The basics stay, okay? That's there. When to do it and how to do it does not leave you. It's like riding a bike. You understand what I mean? So, or if you're a driver, right, and you do routes, you don't know every route. That's why you have to practice them. And why? Oh, I know this route, but I don't know that route. So I got to practice. Now I know this route and that route. You know how to drive, right? You don't forget how to drive, but you have to learn the routes. So you mean to tell me Wilder don't realize that his jab, and the thing about it is Wilder is definitely a fighter that you have to say, because it's the reality with him. Look at his style. His jab is the most important part of his arsenal. Because even when he throws the right hand, he sets up the right hand off the jab. And you watch it, he loves to lunge in. Especially when you reach for shots, and he leaps in with the jab and come behind it. So not only is he's not turning, see, Anthony Joshua turns at the waist. Right? He turns at the waist. He doesn't overcommit to it. And when Joshua throw it, he throws it, bam, and his block hand is up. Wilder would leap in with the left right hand, and then come behind it with the left hand, and then come on top over top of it. So his body weight is behind the punch too. Off just the turn of the waist and off the he doesn't know. His power comes from him lunging his body behind the shot. So when he got knocked out by Zhang, if you notice, he didn't throw the jab first. He threw that lazy ass right hand. He leaned over with his guard hand, his lead hand, in front, like down to his thigh. And he got counted. Now, it's not hard to figure out. It's quite simple, and it's just what I've been telling you all the time. What went wrong was Zhang as an opponent. And what went wrong along with that is Wilder's years and years and years of him rejecting learning how to box. Learning how to become a better fighter. When you say what applies to other fighters don't apply to me, you're rejecting skills, knowledge. I don't need that. I have this. Blessing and curse in the right hand, right? Yeah. So you're rejecting that. So you're refusing something that will make you better. That's what went wrong. It's as simple as that. If Wilder got a new trainer, went and fought another C-class guy, and then knocked that guy out, the first thing people are going to say, see, as soon as he get rid of Malik Scott, he wins again. People, he won against Helenius. Nobody said he understood the assignment because they were sparring partners, which is what Johnny Nelson led the charge with that, with AJ and Otto Wallin, and completely overlooked how sharp AJ was. I mean, it was more than just him knowing Wallin. Well, if he knows Wallin, Wallin should know him, right? Okay, so that doesn't even matter. The reality is Wilder was made into a superhero. So when he doesn't win, people just can't grasp it. I don't care how many videos people make trying to explain to you what went wrong. Unless they're telling you the truth, Wilder is just now stepping up to fight better guys, and he's not as good as they are. Those channels that are trying to make excuses for him, they're doing this, hoping that you like and subscribe, comment, like and subscribe, share the video, comment, like and subscribe, share the video. That's what they want. You, as grown people, just like Wilder should know not to abandon his jab, regardless of what Malik Scott is telling him. You don't forget the basics, but you do forget the basics when you never really mastered the basics. So you guys have to have better common sense as well to know when somebody's feeding you some bullshit. Now, if you don't know the story, you don't know the situation, that's something different, because we're talking about a particular story. But we're talking about the fight itself, the fighter himself. Come on, guys. Wilder has never showed us anything other than the right hand. I told you guys, I had somebody come in the comment section trying to defend Wilder, tell me, man, you know damn well Wilder was feared for his right hand. And I'm like, duh, jackass. What the fuck you think I've been saying all this time? All these years. That's all he's ever been. That's it. The right hand. The right hand. There's many fighters that can knock a person out with one punch. They don't always have the technique to get that punch there. The fighters that fight the tough guys early in their career, if they lose early in their career, people undermine them until they get in a situation where they fight someone that they're expected to lose to, and they go in there and then they destroy that person. Now, if the winning streak continues and they're showing you, no, I'm for real, I belong in this conversation with these guys, then they went out there and took the spotlight. Okay? put batteries in that motherfucker, turned it on and said, hey, I'm here. Everybody watch me. Now, as far as you coming from the Olympics or other people trying to validate you, talking about how great you are, you still have to go show and prove. Once again, we have never had a conversation about Deontay Wilder showing us immense skills. He's a well-rounded, well-crafted fighter. No. It's always been the same thing. So when Wilder himself says the division ain't the same without him, he's the excitement, you have no wins and no knockouts against top-level fighters. So those fighters that you were able to beat, okay, you beat them. You don't hear people saying that shit about Wilder. Wilder says that about himself. His fanboys will agree with him, but he's the one that says that. You may have to, like, I didn't read the article. I saw something on my Google News. It said something about Deontay Wilder's father opens up a Raw about what he think his son should do. I don't know if he think he should retire or continue to fight. Wilder's going to do what Wilder's going to do. But I am saying, once again, if you are not the same, you don't have your killer instinct, all this stuff, why would you want to fight? So this is what I'm telling you. Pay attention. Listen to what he's saying. Somebody, I always forget these dudes' names, because they one of Wilder boys made a video, and it on the post, it's him and Wilder, and it says, we're not done just yet, baby. Okay. Wilder is the one, not the fans, not the spectators. Wilder is the one that said, I don't know if I still got my killer instinct. Wilder's the one that said, when I had my killer instinct, nobody had a chance. Wilder's the one that said, I'm a happy fighter. I'm at peace. I'm too much at peace. You can't have war and peace. See, they got mad at me because of things I said and did to people. So instead of giving them the savagery, I toned it down. Like, yeah, I held back on Parker because I didn't want y'all to talk shit again. He's the one that said all that stuff. So if you're saying you don't have your killer instinct anymore, you're the one that told everybody that you had lost your love, passion, and desire for the sport at one point. And you didn't miss boxing. You don't need boxing because you got the money already. But then, yeah, you trying hard as hell to get that $50 million fight with AJ, right? So which is it? You don't need the money or you do? You understand what I'm saying? If you are the one saying all these things about yourself and you don't have your killer instinct anymore, then why would you want to get back in the ring to see if it's going to click fight night? No, man. So that's what I'm saying. Why would you want to do that? Any smart fighter, no. I told myself, when training isn't fun anymore, or I just feel any kind of way, something like this, I just don't feel the same about the sport, that's what I'm going to walk away. And that's what the fuck I did. Shady shit was going on behind the scenes, dirty motherfuckers who, I got tired of grabbing motherfuckers by the collar and like, really, bottom line, it's like, nah, I did what I did and I'm proud of what I did. Very proud of what I did. But it's not something that I care about sharing with people and, I did this and I know what I did. I know who I am. So this is what I'm saying to you. When you get up, and it never came to a point where I'm saying, I don't want to do this. And no, it was the business side of things. The people around, and I saw how cutthroat the business is. And it was like, yeah, it's just time now. Yeah, I'm good. And that was that. I never stopped training. Continued to spar, continued to do things and keep myself in top shape and just do, But bottom line, the bottom line is, if you feel you no longer have the same spark that you once had, you'd have to be pretty fucking stupid to risk getting back in the ring just to have somebody beat the little bit of sense that you have left out of you because you don't know when to call it quits. You understand what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, my whole point of all these words that people say, when they don't add up and people try to make sense out of something instead of just listening to what you're saying and taking it for what it is. Because for somebody to say, I made smart investments outside of boxing, I'm doing very well and I don't need boxing, yet you're trying to do everything in your power, even signing a contract to fight Anthony Joshua before you even fought Parker. AJ signed his contract with you, but AJ won his fight and then you lost. So even for that to be the case, right? And then for you to be told, plain and simple, that, hey, both of you have to win. And when Turkey was talking to him, you hear his response, yes, sir, yes, sir. Standing there all humble, head down, yes, sir, right? Okay, so for you to come to the conclusion after you got beat, man, I'm thinking we still fighting. You hard of hearing? You know what the terms was. So if you don't need the money, why was you so hurt? Do you guys see, and this is what you got to pay attention to. Do you guys realize that when he lost to Joseph Parker, him and 7-8 sat there and talked more about Anthony Joshua than they did actually Joseph Parker? Do you realize the majority of the fucking Wilder fanboys talked about Anthony Joshua not wanting to fight him on Wilder? Oh, Anthony Joshua was back there telling Eddie Hearn if Wilder had won, I was going to retire. All these lies and stupid shit that people made up, right? So do you understand what I'm saying? If you don't need the money, you wouldn't even care about the money. It's the fact of I want to fight Joshua and beat Joshua. Of course you want your damn money. So if you don't need the money, you didn't need this Zhang fight. You didn't need it. Now this is your words. You don't love boxing no more. You had lost your desire and your hunger for the sport and your passion and law. You said that. So why the fuck are you fighting? And after what Zhang just did to you, if the sport is so fucked up, then on top of that, you over here with the same white man that you said AJ was buck dancing with and all this, and it's a beautiful thing. No, we come together and it's a beautiful relationship. I mean, that's desperation, bro. That's desperation. Wilder situation right now, there was a rapper they called Kane, Big Daddy Kane, back in the day. He told a story about Suge Knight, right? And this was years ago, too. And even more recent, he spoke about that shit. And he said why he didn't sign with Death Row East with Suge Knight. He gave the story. He told us what happened and how Suge basically was like, yo, man, come on, you Big Daddy Kane, man. Like, come on, man. Like, and he was trying to give him a deal. But he was like, yo, I think he said they talked about like $400,000 at first. And then Suge wound up bumping it up like to $1 million. Was like, come on, man, you Big Daddy Kane. Like, he wanted to give him more than $1 million. And then was like, yo, listen, take this, $100,000 just for whatever, right? Now, anybody knows, ain't nobody just gonna be giving you no money. Like, it's something gonna come, something real wrong can come out of this whole thing if the business side of things don't go right. So what ends up happening, he said that he was just like, nah, I'm good. And he never went through with, that deal. But what he said was, he appreciate Suge making the offer, though, because Kane being from Brooklyn, coming from the East, he said no record companies on the East was trying to fuck with me. None of them was trying to get me a deal. None of them. So for Suge to do what he did, it was like, it was to make the offer. I appreciated it, but I just felt like, nah, I'm good, because, so bottom line, and that's, look at Wilder. And Wilder, he called Eddie Hearn a liar, a stake in the grass. You can't trust Eddie Hearn. Same shit Gervonta Tank Davis was saying or whatever. I don't know how much dealing he's ever had with Hearn. According to him, listening to him, it's not even nothing that he knows about her from personally dealing with him. His thing was saying about, him letting fighters fight, knowing that they on steroids and all that, looking at the Ryan Garcia situation, but at the same time, not understanding the business, not understanding how things went. So he was just running his mouth, but not even knowing. Like, no, they didn't know, according to that. And now in this shit, now with Conor Benn, it was different. They knew with Conor Benn, for sure. But with Ryan, nobody knew ahead of time. So even if you make a fuck up doing something one time, okay, you know what? Cool. We ain't doing that. We're not going to do that again. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I don't know if that's the case, but bottom line, I'm saying that's how that goes. Nobody's perfect, but okay, last time that shit happened, when you think about it, no, true, we shouldn't have. But the fight never happened. You understand what I'm saying? The Conor Benn fight didn't happen. Now, but they were trying to let the fight happen. And Eddie Hearn did express the point of the fight still being able to go on, So, yeah, Eddie Hearn, and I got on his ass about that shit too. But, with that, and then with the Ryan situation, it was two different things. And then, bottom line, they wasn't aware of Ryan. Well, at least according to them. And there's no way Tank would know that. But even Ryan himself talking about if I had something in my system, why would you let me fight then? Right? Like, he don't know how the process works. Come on, they explain to you how this shit works, Ryan. You know better than that. But bottom line is, Deontay said all these things, and of all people, who you end up signing with. So it makes me feel like you're not as successful outside of boxing as you pretend to be. Because for you to get to the point that you're going to sign with the guy that you call the devil, you call the lion, you call the snake, he can't be trusted, he's full of shit, AJ's full of shit, blah, 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 and nothing good to say about Matchroom and Eddie Hearn. And then all of a sudden, you jump ship. Notice how 7-8 Sports and none of these other people had anything to say about that? And I told you. Now, a lot of people that started turning against Wilder started, you have people that turn against you, then you have people that see you for who you are and they just walk away from you. People are overthinking this and putting way too much emphasis in trying to make excuses as to why the man lost. The bottom line is, he's not as good as Zhang, Parker, and Fury. If he fights again against some CD level, EZ, whatever, level guy, people are going to yell, Deontay's back, and they're going to forget, no, he's not back. It's the same Wilder that was always there fighting these low-level guys. That's all. That's all. Yeah, he's fighting now he's back to fighting guys he can beat. That's all. Put him back in there with another B-, B+, and let's see what happens. He gets beat again, then what? Oh, well, you know what really happened this time? You know why Wilder really lost it? See, and this is what you keep getting. So, once again, people are going to try to milk every different direction they can go to see who they can blame for Wilder losing. When, in all honesty, Wilder lost the fight to better fighters. Had he beat them, nobody would be talking about his killer instinct. And I'm talking even if it was a lucky punch. If he closed his eyes and threw a punch and he didn't even know the shit landed, they wouldn't be talking about any of this. They'd be saying, nah, that's what Wilder does. Wilder's not losing his skills. Wilder always sits back and wait patiently. That's what they would be saying if he had won. So, yeah, but this is exactly, is this not what we expected? We knew if Wilder lost this fight, that we wasn't going to get no goddamn common sense conversations. We knew that already. And when I said that he shouldn't beat Zhang, punch his chance, but Zhang is a big dude on top of that. He should be able to absorb Wilder's shots way better, than a smaller guy. And he did. He did. And like I've been saying, Zhang is just as quick as Wilder, but way bigger. And he's stronger than Wilder. And I don't think Wilder hits harder than Zhang either. That's real shit. Doesn't matter, though. Doesn't matter. And we gotten to a point in this society now, the boxing community seems to think that power is everything. So that's why I say, when the last time you even heard the term, the sweet science? Even when Terrence Crawford is boxing, you don't hear them talk about the sweet science. Everything is just knockout, 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 knockout. If you don't get a knockout, oh, the fight was boring. So even when Wilder says, ain't nobody coming to see no knockout, everybody, a 12-round boring fight, everybody want to come and see a knockout, and that's what I deliver. And I'm like, wow, you don't even respect the sport. Y'all don't get it. Like, you don't even respect the sport of boxing, man. Listen to what you're saying. So, do you think that any fighter like Ali or Larry Holmes, you know, even a Greg Page, I mean, guys that can box, you think those guys were shit fighters because they wasn't knocking everybody out at some point? So when you say that nobody, and this is Wilder's words, nobody's coming to see a long, boring fight, everybody want to come see a knockout, people got things to do, places to go. Okay, a boxing match is an event, okay? A boxing card is an event. That's what you're coming to the fights for. Now, despite all the fucking big, arrogant airheads that come there to get on the red carpet and try to promote books and albums and want to take photos and all, they don't even know who's fighting. They just, oh, it's a big event. All the stars will be there. Okay, I'm coming. So when you sit here and say that, you're catering to the casuals, because basically to say, listen at what you're saying, you're disrespecting your own craft. So for fighters to sit here and put the work in, 3.5, 4-month training camps, to go into a fucking fight, and then you, the fighter, is the one saying, nobody wants to come here and see a long, boring fight. Everybody wants to see a knockout, and that's what I deliver. I bring the excitement, and the division not the same without me. So basically, it's a waste of their time and money to pay to see a fight if it goes the distance. Yeah, your words. Your words. So this is what I'm telling you guys, man. Once you start, you know, when you listen to guys talk, like making all these accusations about things and like you know, talking about what people want, what they don't want, and how you here to deliver this and that, and when you hear these things, it should really open you up. See, but when you're fanboys and fangirls, it impedes your ability to use your common sense, and you don't think about the things that they're saying. I don't give a shit about no red carpet. I don't, oh, this Halle Berry, I don't give a fuck about Halle Berry, man, whatever. I'm not here for, I don't care about none of that shit. I'm here for the fight. You're disrespecting your own craft. That would be like you open up a hamburger place going, man, you know, don't nobody really want no goddamn hamburgers and fries and shit, man. You know, people want steak and potatoes. They want shrimp, lobster, and all that kind of stuff. We don't have that shit here. You know, so you just want a quick bite, then come on. But, you know, other than that, ain't nobody trying to come in for no burgers and fries. Why the fuck would you shit on your own craft, your business? Because that's what you're doing when you say that shit. That's exactly what you're doing. So, you know, you see, you have so many people that want to come and make videos and tell you guys what's really happening. Like they got some behind the scene inside scoop. They don't know any more than what you and I know. They're just giving their opinions on things. But people are so biased. They're so biased. Every time they speak about something, they have to make whatever they're saying go into the favor of the person that they're talking about. So in doing so, you being a fanboy, it's music to your ears. But do you think, like for example, Wilder is speaking somewhat the way Jared Anderson is, in terms of him saying that how he doesn't want to fight no more than 2-3 years, and how he don't really care about boxing, he just do it for the money. Wilder is at a point where that's what it's looking like to me. If I don't have my killer instinct anymore, I'm washed up, I'm over the hill. Why the fuck would I want to jump back in the ring just to get my ass kicked again? And then, well, yeah, at least now I know for sure my killer instinct is gone. Like, no. Your heart, your killer instinct, all that shit, your determination, it cowers to stiffer competition. And that's what it is. And that's what went wrong. Exactly what I told you was going to go fucking wrong when he comes up against better competition. That's all. It wasn't no fucking cryo chamber. It wasn't no fucking glove gate, no poisoned water, no ayahuasca. It was none of that shit. Unpadded glove. Ain't it funny how y'all don't give a fuck about the fact that a man sparred Claressa Shields and punched her in the face, according to her, with the glove that had no padding? Huh? How y'all don't care? Good for... But y'all cry like some little bitches over a grown-ass man who just can't take a loss. And the thing was, for one, Shields is a female. I don't care about the shit she talk. She keeps it boxing. I don't care about all that, though. She's a female. And you motherfuckers are so soft and sissies that you guys are laughing and celebrating that 5 fucking years ago, she got dropped by a dude in sparring. Wilder gets his ass beat in the fucking ring, and every time it's an excuse as to why. And it's coming from you grown-ass men. So, you know, what I'm going to say in closing this video is real simple. When you step up in competition, you have to know it's going to be different. You don't come from fucking high school like, you know, they drafted Kobe Bryant, 18 years old, fresh out of high school, right? Certain people they've done this with. But you know that the NBA is going to be different from high school and college ball. So if you go in there, do you think Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, any of them, Michael Jordan, do you think any of them went to the NBA thinking, man, what apply to other players don't apply to me? I don't have to, you know, have good handle. I don't have to develop a better shot. Nah, you understand what I'm? No, you don't hear athletes talk like that. You just don't. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to be the best that you can be. So when you sit here and limit yourself, you're limiting yourself. You're putting limitations on yourself, saying that those things don't apply to me. They apply to them. You're limiting yourself. Yet, everybody's overlooking this man's words, blaming everybody else, every other situation other than the facts. You know, notice when it comes to like teams, for example, notice how a fan, you ever watch football with somebody and they're like, yo, catch the fucking ball. I swear to fucking God, yo, this nigga fucking, yo, what the fuck, catch the... Now, it's funny, right? Because he's playing for the team that you like. So you can sit here and curse and swear and complain about the fuck-ups, right? But now, you debate with someone, let's say, for example, you like the Chicago Bears and somebody else like the Detroit Lions. Chicago Bear receiver fucking up. He's dropping everything. Butterfingers, right? You're fucking mad, talking shit. You're angry. The Detroit Lions receiver, he over here smoking shit. But you calling him a bum. He ain't shit. The same dude you mad about and cursing about is fucking up, but you're claiming and swearing he's better than that Detroit Lion fucking receiver. Now, he could have just been having a good game, a better game that day. But bottom line is, you act like your team, the team that you like, can do no wrong in defense of them. But you're sitting there calling the motherfucker stupid, blah, 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 he fucking up. Now, what they will try to do is blame other fucking players on the team to spare their favorite player on the team. So if the quarterback is your favorite player and you're like, these motherfuckers are not giving him no protection, yo, this and that, you fucking dumbass nigga. This is one of the reasons why I can't be in that setting with people, because I'm like, man, you doing too much, bro. Like, seriously. Like sit the fuck down. You acting like an asshole. It's not that serious. This is the type of shit I'm saying, though. You're arguing with someone, bum ass Detroit Lions, the motherfucker, this, man, you crazy as hell. He ain't better than him. Oh, the same dude you was calling a stupid ass nigga because he's dropping all the ball. Yo, you ain't shit. Fuck you, nigga. Yeah. See, that's definitely doing too much. But it's a team sport, so there's other people to point the finger at on your team, on the team you like. Why is it when it comes to boxing, and certain fighters especially, no, Pacquiao can do no wrong, Canelo can do no wrong, Fury can do no wrong, Wilder can do no wrong, Inoue still doing his thing, but he can do no wrong. There's always somebody out there that they just get a pass on everything. There's nobody else to blame in the ring. So, okay, we got to blame the trainer now. Deontay Wilder on top of the C level, D level, down to C level. B minus and up, he can't fuck with them. He can't fuck with them. You got some fighters that have potential, like Devin Alexander. He was a skillful, he was a good fighter, but he was a front runner. You can't bring up Devin Alexander's name when you talk about the very top welterweights, though, especially the ones he lost to, because he has the potential, but he just wasn't the total package, man. It's as simple as that. It's just as simple as that. And I liked Devin Alexander as a fighter. There was a fighter named Kevin Pompey back in the day. I liked him as a fighter. He was a good fighter, but same thing, he just couldn't get over that hump. David Reed, good fighter, just couldn't get over that hump. Remember when he fought Trinidad? That was his step-up fight. He held his own. He even dropped Trinidad in that fight. But after that loss, that was it. Like he just faded away. So you can't bring up his name when you talk about, certain fighters, because at the end of the day, he choked when it mattered the most. So I don't know why that when it comes to Wilder, people just all common sense and like everything just goes out the window. Nah, we just got to make up some shit and make excuses as to why this man lost. So yeah, man, it doesn't change anything. It doesn't. So, like I said, if that man truly feel, or y'all feel like he's washed up, he lost his killer instinct, why would you want to see him jump back in there, crossing your fingers, hoping he can win again? Nah, he's going to get massacred in there. Y'all to be satisfied when somebody, he keep talking about he want a body on his record, right? Y'all to be satisfied when his body is the one in the ring. Bottom line, Deontay Wilder is a C-level fighter. Okay? He doesn't have the toolbox he needs to beat the top-level guys. Okay? He basically just has that one trick. And if his one trick fails him, he has nothing else to turn towards. There was no cheating. There was no foul play. Bottom line is, the better man won. Every time he lost, and every time he lost, there was an excuse. What went wrong for Deontay Wilder, in all honesty, is Deontay Wilder do not think he needs to get better. And him losing and realizing his right hand can't bail him out of every situation, he doesn't have the confidence that he has anything else other than the right hand, because he knows that he doesn't. And if he lost his drive, his desire, his passion and love for the sport, like he said, well, do you really think he's going to have the love, the passion, the drive, and the desire to start from scratch, to get back to the basics and relearn all the shit that he's forgot how to do? Do you think he's going to have that in him? Because he's not. So the reality is, Deontay Wilder lost to better competition, and that's what went wrong for Wilder. It wasn't what went wrong that one night. It's all of the shit that's been happening throughout the years that led to every loss that he's had. Just like I told y'all, when Anthony Joshua was on his downside, it wasn't just a Ben Davison thing. It was being with Garcia, being with Derrick James, then being with Ben Davison and all this shit and looking at how things go. Ben Davison, in fact, if he didn't go through that, let's say he went to Ben Davison first, maybe AJ doesn't snap back. Maybe it's other things that Ben Davison saw in him and dealing with these other trainers that gave him the ability to know what to do and how to get to Joshua. Now, maybe he would have been able to get to him. Who knows? But bottom line is, he was able to get to him, and AJ, bam, he snapped right back. And that is because AJ already had those qualities in him. That ability was always there. Simple. So, it's like if you drive and then you have a horrific car accident. You've been driving for years. You don't forget how to drive, but that accident might make you afraid, especially, let's say, if it was on a highway. It might make you afraid to drive on the highway. Why? Because you keep remembering what happened, that accident. But you don't forget how to drive. Now, until you conquer that fear and overcome it, you'll know. And then one day you're driving again, you're like, man, you know what? What happened, man. It's just one of those things. I'm good. But a lot of people, things happen and they just can't get past it. You understand what I'm saying? So, Wilder got to figure out what he has to do, if he's going to continue to fight or if he's going to walk away. But bottom line is, the one thing Wilder needs to definitely learn, you got to look in the mirror and understand, I'm looking at myself. I'm not looking at Malik Scott. I'm not looking at Mark Breland. I'm not looking at Eddie Hearn. I'm not looking at Tyson Fury. I'm looking at me. That's who I have to work on. That person that I see in the mirror. And until I change that about myself, what applies to me don't apply to other fighters. But I just feel like, bottom line, it's too late for all of that. He should have done that a long time ago. But that's what went wrong for Wilder. It was a build-up through all those years. And when he ran into Fury, when he ran into Parker, when he ran into Zhang, all of a sudden, once again, top-level fighters, he lose. Yeah, but Aries, you got to understand. No. You got to understand. You don't see where I'm coming from, but you will. And it's just a coincidence that every time I say he's going to lose, he loses. It's just a coincidence. I never said he was going to lose to Duhaupas. I never said he was going to lose to Gerald Washington. I never say he's going to lose to any of those guys. And speaking of Jarrell Miller, Mr. Excuse Central, I was thinking about this. When I saw, that's the motherfucker name, Drew Titan. That's the guy that, yeah, I saw that little bullshit thumbnail. That's his name. When I saw that shit, I thought, Wilder, hopefully for himself, don't make no damn excuse. Try to use no excuses as to why he lost to Zhang, because he already got people that done turned on him and said, fuck him. He talked all this shit about what he going to do, then he went in there and lost. Fuck him. Now, you saw him with a different female, right? Not his wife or whatever. You saw that. Jarrell Miller talked a lot of shit about him not too long ago. Jarrell Miller said Wilder's the biggest excuse maker in the world. Jarrell Miller is just as big of an excuse maker as Wilder, and just as much of a hypocrite. Jarrell Miller stood in the ring with Daniel Dubois and said, yo, little bro surprised me. Yo, he got my motherfucking respect, yo. Just to turn around and say, Daniel Dubois didn't do anything special. It was me. I beat myself. Daniel Dubois didn't beat me. Blah, blah, blah. And commenced to talking about Wilder and his side piece and all this shit. So I'm thinking, he's been out of the ring even longer than Wilder now. So if Wilder does decide he wants to make a comeback again, maybe they might try to put something together with him and Jarrell Miller. Because, see, all of the shit talking, people think that's drama. That's what people want to see. Both of them have something to prove, but they really don't, because I just don't see Wilder, in my opinion, and my strong opinion, being able to compete at the top level. Jarrell Miller can't throw 80 punches around anymore. So I don't care how much weight he burns down, Jarrell Miller is not as good as he tells himself that he is. Either guy winning that fight does really nothing. It really doesn't. But when you win a fight and you have people that want to see you win, it can turn into something where you finally have your last hurrah, but you just end up cashing out on a big payday. But the great thing about that is it don't look like that Turkey is entertaining that kind of shit. He want winners. That's what any real boxing fan should want. So I don't really give a shit about the two of them fighting each other, but they have, it's been a history of Jarrell Miller talking shit, because Wilder really don't even address him. Now, for him to fight a Jarrell Miller is another guy who hasn't accomplished shit. You see what I'm saying? So it does really much of nothing. Only thing I can see out of that is if he fight him, and then if Wilder wins, is that, yeah, I punished him for talking all that shit. That doesn't put you in the title picture. It doesn't, and you don't deserve to be in the title picture for beating Jarrell Miller, and vice versa. You just don't. So what would happen is you have the two excuse makers. Somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose. And then whoever loses, they're going to make excuses as usual. But where does that put Wilder? Because once again, Wilder will be 39 in October. Where does that put Wilder? I don't think Wilder fights again before the year's up. But even if he does it really matter? When I said he's telling you the savagery is back, what was missing before, and when he says before, it's like, when are you talking about? Because you beat Robert Helenius and knocked him out in the first round. So you're talking about Joseph Parker. So what do you mean? Yeah, that's where he's going back to. For him, all that stuff that he said, it talked about the savagery's back, and I said, it's not like Wilder fought anybody. How can Wilder sit here and tell you that the savagery is back? And he has nobody, he's fought no one. So how would he know what's back? Is he basing this on shadow boxing and punching foam sticks? What exactly is he basing this on, right? Okay, it's just back. No. I didn't tell you Anthony Joshua was back before he fought Wallin, before he went in there and did what he was supposed to do against Ngannou. It was after the Wallin fight we saw he was back. He went in there and did to Ngannou what he was supposed to do. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah. How I'm going to tell you that, if Anthony Joshua would have said, yo, the real AJ is back, before he fought Wallin, I wouldn't give a fuck what he said. All right, show us, AJ. That's how we're going to know. We hear you. That all sounds good, but show us. AJ don't talk shit. Even after his win, he give his opponents credit. He big up them, and he go on to the next one, and he doesn't even make videos talking about it. He's just back in the gym. You don't even hear him talking about the shit. So bottom line is, Wilder's boxing career is done. Even if he gets back in the ring, he's done. He's finished. It's over. What Wilder should have done, I'm pretty sure it done swam in his head. Whether he admits it or not, he knows what he should have done, and he didn't. It's too late now. It's too late now. And for someone to claim that they lost their hunger and desire and their passion and love for the sport, to not walk away after what just happened, it's only going to get worse for them. And at the end of the day, y'all, all good things come to an end. Like this video. Talk to me in the comment section. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.